Here's the recipe to take your videos from this to this on your iPhone. The first thing we need to do is adjust our light. I'm gonna come to my contrast and introduce a lot of that just so we can see the difference between the dark parts of our image and the light parts of our image. I'm gonna bring my brightness down a few notches. Then I'm gonna bring my saturation up to introduce some color into the image and my brilliance down to introduce some color into his skin. And then I wanna warm this up, so I'm gonna come to my temperature and bring this to the right to make that sun really hot. And then I'm gonna bring my hue to the left to introduce a little bit more green into the image. I'm gonna set a point on my shadows, midtones, and highlights, and I'll bring my shadows down, and then I'll bring my highlights up slightly to make the background really bright and angelic. Then I'll come to my blue curve and set a point on my shadows and highlights and bring my highlights down toward yellow. And this image is looking a little too green, so I'm going to come to my green, add a point on my shadows and my highlights. And I'm going to pull my highlights down so this adds a little bit of pink into the sun. Lastly, I'm going to come to my red curve, add a point on my shadows, midtones, and my highlights, and only bring my red out of my shadows. Finally, we're going to add some grain into the image all the way up, and then we're going to pull it down until the grain is felt and not seen. Here's the before and the after, before and the after, and here's a side-by-side comparison with the iPhone version and the computer version. And you can comment "cook" down below to figure out what key ingredients might be missing from your content.